In this video, we're going to discuss an overview how to graph a system of inequalities. Now, to graph a system of inequalities, we need to remember two ways we know how to graph: slope-intercept form and standard form. Slope-intercept form is when we have it y equals mx plus b, where this number is the slope and the number after the x is the y-intercept. So in my example, the number up front of the x is an imaginary 1, so our slope is 1 over 1, and the y-intercept is the number after the x, which is 6. So we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our y-intercept. Remember, we have our y-axis and our x-axis. And my slope, remember, it's rise over run, so I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. Now if I go down 1, I'm going to go left 1, down 1, left 1, and you can be a little more perfect than I can on the iPad. But you know which one I'm trying to get to. You make as many points as you can, and you draw a nice line. With a ruler, preferably. I don't have a ruler that fits on the iPad here. Standard form is of the form ax plus by equals c, where the x-intercept is c divided by a, the y-intercept is c divided by b. You plot both points, and you get your line. So here our x-intercept is, my a is 3, b is 5, c is 15, so we got 15 divided by 3. X-intercept equals 5. So along the x-axis, I can count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The y-intercept is 15 over 5. The y-intercept equals 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Connect those points with a ruler. And there's my line. So, slope-intercept form, standard form. I'm going to show you an example of each for these inequalities. So for this graph, again, my y-intercept is 4, so I'm going to go up 4. Plot that point. Slope is negative 4 over 1. So I'm going to go down 4 over 1. Down 4 over 1, down 4 over 1. If I go up 4, I'm going to go to the left 1. Okay, and now this is a solid line because it's a greater than or equal to, because that line underneath, this is a solid line. Now there's a poster that kind of gives you some insight as to the inequality and shading part. So remember, for the shading, we always pick the point 0, 0. And we use our equation, our inequality. Our y is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus 4. So if I plug 0 in for the y, so that means I've got 0 greater than or equal to, if I did negative 4 times 0, that's just 0, plus 4 is 4. So I've got 0 greater than or equal to 4. That is false. So because it's false, I need to shade away from that 0, 0 point. So I'm going to make some nice shading this direction. So we did this in the beginning of Algebra 2B. Now we're just putting it together with more than one graph. So now we've got y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 3. So the slope, the y-intercept is negative 3. I'm going to go down 3. And the slope is 3 over 1. So I'm going to go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. Okay, I'll go down 3 and over 1. Now, when we graphed regular equations, we only had one answer, was it crossed. When we have a system of inequalities, we need a shaded region that they cross. So again, for the purple line, I'm going to pick 0, 0. I'm going to put 0 in for y. 3 times 0 is 0, and so all I'm going to be left with is negative 3. Is 0 bigger than negative 3? This one is true. And so I need to shade that same side of 0, 0. So I'm going to shade above. And we'll notice the shaded region that they cross is right here. So we can darken that area where they cross. That is our answer. We're looking for the shaded region where they intersect. Let's try a standard form inequality. So for our x-intercept here, we need to do 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So along the x-axis, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The y-intercept is 18 divided by 2, which is 9. I'm going to go up 9 on the y-axis, which is right here. Connect these dots with a nice straight line. I'm going to make it as straight as possible on the iPad here. Now the one thing I needed to keep in mind is it is a dashed line because there's no equal sign underneath the inequality. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to make erase and erase. If you do this in pencil and you forget that it should have been dashed, just take the eraser end and erase a little bit of parts of it so that you can have a dashed line. We're going to use the same trick of picking 0, 0. So if I put 0 in for x and 0 in for y, I have 0. 3 times 0 plus 2 times 0 equals 0. 0 greater than 18. That's false. Oh wait, that's right. 0 is not bigger than 18. So I need to shade away from 0, 0. Good. Let's graph the bottom one, our green graph. So x-intercept is 12 divided by 4, which is 3. X-intercept of 3. The y-intercept, again, that's the x-intercept. I goofed that up. X-intercept is 3. So we got to go along the x-axis to find the x-intercept of 3. The y-intercept is 12 divided by negative 3. Remember that negative gets included. So the y-intercept is negative 4. So I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a solid line because of that line underneath. So I connect the points. There's my line. We're going to do the same thing with this shading. Pick 0, 0. So we have 0 on the left, greater than or equal to 12. That's false. So again, we're shading away from 0, 0. So that means down this direction, which our shaded region is in this neighborhood. I've got one last short example for you. What if we have an equation that just has a y in front of it? Well, remember, this is a horizontal line where y equals 7. So we go up to 7. All of the y's on this line have to be 7. So if I made a bunch of points that were horizontal on this line, all of the y values have to be 7, and they are. It is a solid line. So I connect them. There's the line where y is less than or equal to 7. The number is less than 7, that's below the line, so I'm going to shade this direction. What if we have an equation where x is greater than negative 4? Just an x is involved. This is a vertical line. So we go over to where x is negative 4. it is a dotted line, it's vertical, and it is a dashed line. Now it says x is greater than -4, so the bigger numbers from -4 go off to the right. Now let's say this graph has one more. Oh, we just graphed it. That's slope-intercept form. So I start at -3, and I go down 1 and over 2, down 1 and over 2, or I go up 1 and to left 2. Make sure I have enough points to make my line. It's a dashed line. So I make a dashed line. And we have 0 greater than, put 0 in for x. Again, there's 0, 0. Is 0 bigger than -3? Yes, it is. So we shade the same side as 0, 0, in which, here's my shader region. It's underneath the blue, to the right of the green, and above the red. So there's the region that we can shade all together.